Bloomberg Markets, I'm Bonnie Quinn in New York alongside Greg Bonnell in Toronto. The US travel sector has suffered the biggest drop among industry groups in dollar terms in October, slumping 66% from a year earlier. But demand for private jets remains robust. For more, let's bring in Megan Wolf, FlexJet COO. And of course, FlexJet, a global leader in fractional private jet travel. It operates a fleet of more than 160 private aircraft. So Megan, how has pricing been working? Have you been able to up pricing, or how have you gone about that?
So, Bonnie, one of the benefits of being an owner in the FlexJet program is that you're making a long-term commitment. So even as things change in the marketplace, you're treated more like a whole aircraft owner and you have greater predictability. So in these times, it's really more status quo for our owners in our program.
Ahead of the holiday season, I mean, Thanksgiving, from a Canadian's understanding, is a huge time of travel in the United States. It's clearly going to be different. Is there a difference, though, between commercial flight, private flight? Can you make it a bit of a safer experience and still sort of facilitate that kind of travel?
We absolutely can. So we've measured, and it's reported that there's about 700 touch points when you're flying commercial, between traveling through the terminal, standing in line, getting on board the aircraft, picking up your bags. And by flying private, you're able to reduce those touch points to almost less than 20. And so in doing that, you're traveling with family members. You're boarding the aircraft at a regional airport instead of a large commercial or even international terminal. And so it really does afford you much more knowledge about where you're at and where you've come in contact. And so we do give our owners much more confidence when they're able to fly, that they can do so safely and that they know who they're flying with.
Are there any programs at FlexJet and the fractional program where people share, so you know, it's not entirely your jet for the week, let's say, you also share with other people, and have they been requesting that to change?
So when you're flying with FlexJet, you're in full control of the passengers that you're traveling with. So you're inviting them. It might be family members, it might be friends, it might be business associates, but you always know who you're traveling with because you've provided that passenger list. And so they're your guests. Or again, they're members of your family, and so you are able to bring more people along with you, but it is only people that you know.
Megan, when you plan longer term through this, obviously we've had a lot of vaccine optimism in terms of what Pfizer, what Moderna are bringing to bear and the authorizations that they're looking for. As you plan out to 2021, when do you start to see things, do you think, improve for your, it sounds like you're at an advantageous point to begin with, but even improve further for your business?
We're really encouraged by what we're seeing with Thanksgiving travel and seeing a number of people flying over the holidays, going from one residence to another. They do have confidence with us. And the clients that we have today are referring people to come fly with FlexJet as well. So we're seeing our pipeline and our interest in leads continuing to grow. And so we know that this is not something that people are thinking about on a short-term basis. They're looking long-term at how they're going to continue to fly and continue to do business. And so going into 2021, we're already looking ahead. We hired 85 pilots this year, and we were able to take delivery of additional jets from our partners like Embraer, Bombardier, and Gulfstream. And so we're well prepared for people continuing to fly into 2021. And when the vaccines and when people are more comfortable, even more so as travel continues to grow.
Well, so Megan, it strikes me that up to now, where you made your money was the airplanes being on the ground, right? So people would buy the fractional shares, but then wouldn't necessarily need to use them, and that was to your benefit. How many more miles in the sky is FlexJet doing this year because people need to use their time?
Well, we want people to fly, and when they fly with us, they continue to travel more and more. And what we see is that for us, we want the planes in the sky, and we want them traveling from one point to the other and going to visit friends and family and traveling.
Sure, but then give us data. How much more have they been in the sky? How many more long-haul flights have you been making and so on? Do you have data on that?
So what we do have data on is that while business travel has slowed down with more stay-at-home people using Zoom or remote workforces, what we do see is that personal travel has been up and that those flights are continuing to grow and that people are flying more often while they are kind of in this period of downtime from needing to be in the office. So we have seen the personal travel grow for us. And so that has really offset what some of the business travel has been that has slowed down.
All right, Megan, as always, thanks for checking in with us. That was Megan Wolf, FlexJet COO.